Use of oil can have a serious effect on nature. Directly through oil spills, and indirectly through the effects of climate change. Coal doesn't seem to be a suitable alternative. We propose a solution to this. Our solution: tidal power. The tide moves a huge amount of water twice each day, and harnessing it could provide a great deal of energy, around 20% of Britain's needs. There are 8 main sites around Britain where tidal power stations could usefully be built, including the Severn, Dee, Solway and Humber estuaries. Tidal barrages work rather like a hydroelectric scheme, except that the dam is much bigger. A huge dam called a barrage is built across a river estuary. When the tide goes in and out, the water flows through the tunnels in the dam. The ebb and flow of the tides can be used to turn a turbine, or it can be used to push air through a pipe, which then turns a turbine. Large lock gates, like the ones used on canals, allow ships to pass. Another option is to use offshore turbines. Rather like an underwater wind farm, the tide turns the fans, which subsequently turns a turbine and produces energy. This has the advantage of being much cheaper to build and does not have the environmental problems that a tidal barrage would bring. There are also many suitable sites. The Lawrence tidal barrage in Brittany harnesses the power of water as the tide comes in and out of the Ronce estuary. Tides here average 8 centimetres and can reach a staggering 13.5 metres, offering plenty of scope to generate electricity. The plant is now 45 years old and has long paid off its setup costs, so the French power company Électricité de France, EDF, can now reap its profits, with electricity costing only 2 cents per kilowatt hour to generate. The 330-metre barrier contains 24 bulb-type turbines that are each 5.35 metres in diameter, weigh 470 tonnes, and produce 10 megawatts of electricity almost constantly. Only at the turn of the tide does the plant cease generation. The barrier is wide enough to have a dual carriageway along the top of it, so the previously isolated communities of Dinard and St Malo on each side of the estuary have been linked, bringing positive social and economic impacts that would benefit us as well in similar schemes were built in England or Wales. Although tidal power is a beautiful solution to all the world's problems, we should probably tell you that for some reason it is only possible to construct such plants at the coast. In fact, you need a river estuary that isn't too narrow, less than 50 metres. The tide only has enough force to drive turbines if there is a tidal range of 5 metres, so the idea does have limited potential. Most of the Mediterranean, for example, is not capable of developing tidal energy technology because of the lack of tide there. Tidal power is not currently economically feasible, because the initial costs of building a dam are tremendous. Furthermore, it only provides power for around 10 hours each day when the tide is moving in or out of the basin. The The barrage construction can affect the transportation system in water. Boats may not be able to cross the barrage, and commercial ships used for transport or fishery need to find alternative routes or costly systems to go through the barrage. The erection of a barrage may affect the aquatic ecosystem surrounding it. The environment affected by the dam is very wide, altering areas numerous miles upstream and downstream. Maximum energy production is limited to 2.5 terawatts. This is the total amount of tidal dissipation. We support the building of a tidal power scheme across the Severn estuary because it has an average tidal range of 5.5 metres, making it economically and environmentally viable. It is suitable for almost any climate and has very low maintenance cost. The turbines need to be replaced only every 30 years. Tidal power is free once the dam is built. This is because tidal power harnesses the natural power of tides and does not consume fuel. In addition, the maintenance costs associated with running a tidal station are relatively inexpensive. Tides are very reliable because it's easy to predict when high and low tides will occur. The tide goes in and out twice a day, usually at the predicted times. This makes tidal energy easy to maintain, and positive and negative spikes in energy can be managed. Tidal energy is renewable because nothing is consumed in the rising of tides. Tidal power relies on the gravitational pull of the moon and sun, which pull the sea backwards and forwards, generating tide. The Earth is filled with alternative energy resources, only if we seek out solutions to harness those natural energies and bring them forward for use. Because we are so hooked on the fossil fuel energy, we tend to neglect other alternative sources. One such natural energy example is tidal power. The Earth is 1/3 water, and still we have not yet brought this great tidal power to use. The theory behind it is not even complicated. Neither is it a hard target to achieve. Although the energy supply is reliable and plentiful, converting it to useful electrical power is not easy. But overall, we love tidal power because we believe that it has a tremendous so far unexplored potential. Please write to your local MP to campaign for more widespread use of this resource.